Thanks for staying with us. Now, they say dog is a man's best friend, but what about a baby's best friend?
Yes, when it comes to introducing your pet pooch to your newest addition in the family, we've got dog behaviourist Nancy Creedon here to tell us the do's and don'ts. Good morning to you, Nancy.
Good morning.
This is something we had. We had a dog first and then a baby came along and it totally upset the
whole dynamic. And it
shebang.
happens all the time, doesn't it? Because most couples end up getting a dog, practicing being parents with the dog, and then the real baby comes and it's a whole different ball game.
It is a whole different ball game. And there's there's big dogs, small dogs. So what do you kind of advise people, particularly before the baby arrives? How do they get the dog ready?
They get the dog ready. That's it. They start off, so many people think, oh, my dog's going to love my baby. It's a tiny version of me. It's not a tiny version of you.
And the dog is used to getting all the attention, and
all
that
the
changes.
attention. But also what people forget is, like, a newborn baby is like a small, smelly, squeaky, pink toy to a lot of dogs as well. So you do need to get the dog used to seeing a baby in the household, whether it's a real baby or this beautiful little baby Bonnie that we have here. So the first thing I tell people to do is get the dog used to the sight of a baby. And that means... And
would you do it with a dog?
I did it for my dog, but my baby
This is Bella. So Bella here is interested in the doll now. So this is this to get it interested in you holding something?
It's to get her used to it and bored by it. So what you'd do, if you've got the cot set up, you'd go and put your dolly into the cot. If you've got a pram, put the dolly into the pram. Walk around the house with your little baby.
She's seeing all this.
And it's becoming boring. So what will happen, some dogs might jump up and want to see what's in your arms, but it's a doll. If they do that with the baby, they could knock the baby or hurt the baby and so on as well. So you're getting the dog used to the sight of the baby. You look nuts. You look absolutely nuts, but it's fine. It's for your dog. After getting used to the...
Bella's not interested anymore.
Exhibit A, this is
she had a little look and a sniff and now she's all...
That's what you want, I suppose.
What you want, and the phrase I use is, you want the dog aware but not to care. So they know there's something in your arms, but they know it's not for them, so I don't need to show any interest. So the sight of the baby's first thing. Then the next thing is the sound of the baby. So what I like to do with the sound of the baby is get the sound of a baby crying. Every time you play the sound of the baby crying, you'll give your dog something nice to have in their bed.
Okay.
So if it's something chewy or tasty...
We have a baby cry. Hold on, let's play the baby. Oh, it brings us back.
What we'll do then is pop her in her bed with something nice. So what she's going to learn is, when the baby's crying, I just go to my bed. I don't need to be stressed. I'm out of mum's way, and I'm also licking. So licking releases dopamine, calming hormone, chilled out. So baby crying makes me relaxed in my bed.
So do you think
much easier.
Can a dog get upset with the sound of a baby crying?
They'll more so get upset with the parents getting upset, because it's stressful. Tiny little babies, when you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to figure things out, and if the dog's under your feet, everything gets more heightened. So by the dog
That's a great thing, isn't it? Licking, because that probably takes a long time.
It does.
Because I would imagine if you just gave them like a little treat or whatever else, they go to their bed and then they get up and get going again.
Straight away.
Where something like that kind of drags it out and gets them used to kind of lying in their bed.
And it's the calming element of it, because after she spends a good few minutes licking that, she'll be relaxed and she'll chill out in her bed, and you can deal with the baby then so much easier.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we've got sight, we've got sound, and
the
smell.
next thing is smell.
Well done.
Normally you can have a dirty nappy. When the baby is born, or if you have a friend with a newborn baby, get the dirty nappies. The smell of a dirty nappy is really stimulating to dogs. So what we want to do
is... put a bit of that in
well,
there
no,
for
the
Alan,
opposite.
No,
that's our backup. That's our backup, because what you want to do is, you don't want it to be something they're going to eat. So you let them see that there's a stinky nappy, introduce it to them, Belle, so that they see, okay, that smells like a weird smell of newborn babies, and you then pair it with something even better. So they'll then see, okay, that's interesting.
But why would they be upset by a smelly nappy?
Not upset. Interested, really
upset.
stimulated.
And then start tearing
when
at it.
my niece was born, her dirty nappies were in the bin, and my dog got into the bin and ate the dirty nappy.
Okay.
It's a really, really strong smell for dogs, and it's one that really interests them. So if they're bored of the smell before the baby comes home, there's less chances that they're going to be like, getting their nose into the baby.
So how soon should you be prepping all this stuff before the baby arrives?
It's tough, isn't it? Because who knows when the baby's going to come. I always say the last trimester is when you really get stuck into dog training. And I have a free online course, Is Your Dog Expecting Your Baby?, where people can go through all the steps, and I generally break it down to the different trimesters, what you should be doing.
And where can people see that?
NancyCreedon.ie.
And for that, so there's no... Because I remember when my dog was there, you were giving it extra attention. Well, you give it extra attention, you kind of think things are going to change here, but that's probably not a good thing because it gets them used to the extra attention.
It's the routines, okay? So you've got your baby gates into the baby's room, a baby gate perhaps into the living room. So when you're going for a nap and the baby's in their bassinet, the dog's safe. The other thing you do is use and abuse your friends and family when they keep saying, oh, we want to come help with the baby. Take my dog for a walk, do some training with the dog, play with the dog, so that you don't feel so guilty and the dog is still getting lots of attention.
But Nancy, I've seen on Instagram and TikTok all these amazing videos of how the dog immediately bonded with a newborn, and you see them 18 months later and the child is cuddling the dog and stuff like that. And yet that can happen in great circumstances and they can have a great bond, but it could be totally opposite.
Once you do the right prep work, the relationship between your dog and your children is so beautiful. My kids are obsessed with our dog and he's brought so much joy to their lives. Once the dog is respected and the dog is given plenty of space, it's lovely. But where it really bothers me is when people are trying to force this relationship between dog and baby. And space is the most important thing. Safety first, safety first, safety first. You just don't gamble with a newborn baby.
Well, that leads into a question here from Maria as well. A 10-week baby and a 4-year-old Jack Russell. The dog seems to never be threatened or cross with the baby, but constantly wants to lick him, toes, handles, ears, the whole lot. Like, is it okay to let the dog get so close?
It's a bonding thing. So the dog licking the baby and the dog licking us is an affectionate thing. It's they want to interact, want to be in love with that baby.
But we know about hygiene with
kids. Exactly. And because I'm always again, a big risk assessor, every time the dog is trying to interact with the baby, good boy, you're fine. Here's your toy. Here's something nicer to do. Yeah, baby's lovely, and when baby's bigger and we can have nice interactions together, we'll do that. But for now, nothing to worry about. That dog clearly likes the baby and is happy with the baby's presence. But just to make sure that the dog doesn't get too obsessed with the baby.
Ask you just an obvious question here as well. Even if the dog is tiny, never leave the dog and the baby together, obviously. And even though they might look like they're the best of friends.
But also don't fall asleep when the baby's around. That's happened a few times where parents have fallen asleep and bad things will happen. So if you are tired, make sure the dog's behind a baby gate, even if the baby's in a bassinet, anything like that. Just always barriers.
Okay, now we asked for questions coming in and we've lots of questions. Quickly trying to get through some. Jack, you have 2 miniature Yorkshire Terriers. They're sisters. One of the dogs is very needy, barks all the time, chases everything and everyone. And she's actually wondering, is her dog suffering from anxiety or ADHD? And can dogs suffer from anxiety and ADHD?
Definitely anxiety. ADHD we can't really determine because you can't
anxiety,
talk to them.
Running all around, going mad at people.
What's probably happening, and it's something that happened with Bella here, is when 2 dogs from the same litter are kept together, they can develop what we call littermate syndrome. So both dogs kind of don't really fully develop. It's not natural for them to stay together. So Bella doesn't really get on great with her sister, so she's looking for a home separate to her sister. They're 8-year-old dogs, so I'm not going to turn around and say separate your dogs. Try to do some one-on-one time stuff with them. Try to do the individual training, individual feeding, individual walking.
Very quickly, a 9-month-old dog peeing all over the house still.
9-month-old, I bet you it's a boy. That's probably going to be hormone-based. And make sure that if the dog pees in the house, you're not cleaning up with anything with ammonia, bleaches in it. make sure you get pet-safe cleaning products. Properly clean it, because often they'll pee with the
how do you stop it?
That was from Joan as well.
That might be a neutering thing, or it might be something...
Nancy Creedon, people can find you on nancycreedon.com as well. And I think we have to say as well, the shelter, what's Mocara?
So Mocara, Bella's from Mocara. There's 2 of them looking for homes. There's loads of dogs in Mocara looking for homes. She lost her owner, so she is lonely. She is sad.
Gorgeous.
She needs to be loved. So
absolutely gorgeous dog.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much. We've lots. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've lots on tomorrow's show, including Lorraine Kelly. Yes, the legend that is Lorraine Kelly.
Ashley Weir as well from Matilda.
Yes,
my daughter's
great
favourite.
show.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Bye bye.